Welcome in to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast on the Marshland Media Empire conglomeration experience for your mind, body, soul, all the way from the head down to your toes. That's gonna break down episode by episode, beat by beat, and sweat by sweat, the television series of Lucha Underground. We are on Season 3, Episode 21 of this combined effort between El Rey Network and AAA Promotions. The episode titled Sudden Death. I am one of your hosts. My name is Sean, and I say hello to you. With me is yet another host. His name is James. James, hello.
No, it's me, Geddy Lee.
All right. Now,
Southern Geddy Lee.
Yep. Glad I didn't have to say it.
Guys, I've been rush pilled.
Rush is really good.
Oh, man. Sean, just real quick, I'll give you 10 seconds. If you were to recommend 3 Rush albums that I listen to that are not moving pictures and 2112, what would you do?
Fuck if I know. I'm not super duper Rush pilled. I like Rush, but I can't. I wish I could give you the album breakdown by breakdown, but I was too busy listening to real panty dropper music like Aquabats. So I don't have all the Rush albums off the top of my head. Honestly, like
Aquabats get MILFs, guys.
Aquabats rule. But like, yeah, I don't know, explore, right?
Okay.
It's interesting. Yeah. So what have you already listened to 2112 and Moving Pictures?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. My new thing now is I come home from work, take an edible, I eat, watch something with Nicole. Then by the time I'm taking a shower, edibles kicking in, so then I put on some Rush in the shower, lights off. The only thing that's lighting the room is the street light outside our window, which it went out a few months ago, and I immediately knew because I'm like, wait, why am I having to turn on lights all of a sudden at nighttime? It's a great way to save energy. Just have a street light outside of your home and you're gonna be good. But it just like that Tom Sawyer hits on Moving Pictures and you're like, whoa, hell yeah, dude.
I was literally, as you were saying, the edible hits. I could just hear the Tom Sawyer drone, that initial before anything starts up. It's such a, Rush is great. When we went out for Nicole's birthday, I think that's the first thing you said to me. It's like, we got into the place like at the same time, and you just said, Sean, I'm Rush pilled now.
And you're like, brush pill?
Yeah, thank God. Your hair was a naughty mess. Glad to see you got brushed. No, Rush pilled. And I said, that's awesome.
I have been taking this experimental drug that it's called a brush pill, where it just keeps your hair untangled.
Wow. Well, you know what I would love to untangle, unfortunately we can't, is all the messy drama that's happening in the temple this week.
Oh, shit. Did I be disappointed at this episode?
Interesting. Before we even get into this episode, something I wanted to ask about. Zompiro, a beloved icon for both of us, has a very distinct character, and he has for a couple of weeks now. So at this point, I think we have 3 distinct Zompiro characters, right?
Yeah.
We have Ian, which was set up for the beginning of season 2. Ian is a different person.
Yeah.
Ian is not Zompiro. Then we have Zompiro, who is behind the desk. He's probably booking a lot of this show.
Is he?
Well, no, they don't acknowledge that. No, I'm sorry. Dario, in character, is booking.
Okay.
But Zompiro is behind the desk. He's certainly a profound figure.
Yeah.
And then we have I don't know what we can call him. A couple of things. I want to ask what you were thinking.
Zompiro.
Zompiro works as well. But yeah, when he's mastered up, he has a pupil, full on robes and zombie makeup. Zompiro, I like.
And that was my first note. Is we see Zompiro in a mirror talking to Ray. We'll get into it a little bit. But then the immediate hard cut of Zompiro behind the desk talking to us, it's weird because it's like, well, so does everyone know that he's like this, or is he only showing this presence to a few people? And is he afraid people are going to say hey, Zompiro's back?
I want to say yes to above everything, to the above all. I think Ray sort of, a lot of people that have been with Zompiro for a long time knew, oh yeah, he's super into necromancy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting beers with Zompiro after the show? He might try and steal your spleen for various rituals.
Oh, hell yeah.
He is neck deep in this shit.
He's not going to steal that liver, though.
No. That's for the fava beans.
Well, because you're out drinking.
Oh.
It's damaged goods.
Oh, no.
Just like a woman who isn't a virgin before you marry, and a man, both should be pure while entering the holy bonds of matrimony.
This started as a kind of hackneyed joke, and now James is sweating. Jumping up and down on his table, sweating.
That's why I can't get married to Nicole. I was damaged goods.
Oh, no.
She said, man, that dick's got some dents in it. I guess I got the floor model.
Jesus Christ. I don't have a transition for this one. I'm just trying to get away from how sad this is.
She's like, I guess I gotta refurbish this bitch.
Hey, if you're out there and you've got used goods, I would like to say thank you. You are important for the economy and the sex economy.
She's like, I got this secondhand on eBay, I guess.
All right.
I'm a secondhand buy, okay?
Everybody is somebody's ex. If you think about it.
Okay, no, Nicole never dated anyone.
Most people are somebody's ex.
I'm freaking damaged goods.
Unless you're fucking... I'm mad at Nicole for not having to go through several different bad relationships and breakups.
Oh, no, Nicole is very forward about that. Of like, no, I waited to find someone that I actually wanted to date. And then I was lucky enough to find someone when she was like 19. So yeah, she's stuck with me for life, these damaged goods.
That pisses me off so much. Meanwhile, I'm out here hanging under bus benches, waiting for someone with an interesting tuchus to sit on down and then strike up a conversation about fucking
Their
rush and just hope
panties.
for the best. I'm not actually mad. That's beautiful. I realize I'm not actually mad. That's very beautiful.
She did say, hey, when this beater of a used car is spent, I'm leasing a new model.
Yeah, she said that?
Yeah, she said, I'm getting a 20-year-old when you're dead, James.
She said that.
No, absolutely not.
Thank you.
She sees someone who's like 28 and is like, oh, wait, I think they're babies.
They're not doing well. I've seen these 28-year-olds. They're not doing great.
Sean's 28. Look at him. Doing rockin'.
Not true. Doing rockin'?
Yeah, you're doing rockin', baby.
All right, great.
Speaking of rock and rollers, Zompiro was in a rock band.
What?
We've talked about this before. He has been in a rock band.
Oh, okay.
And that was to transition us back to Zompiro.
Okay. It doesn't really start with Zompiro, though. It starts with Puma scratching at his mask. Absolutely, to be fair, hallucinating Zompiro, all pale and zombified. But this is just Puma, like, literally trying to scratch his face off. He's not doing great. I remember last week, Katrina tells Puma, it's never the same once you die. All those voices come back with you. And Puma is struggling with the voices in the mirror. He goes to punch the mirror, like he gets his fist up to punch, but a black hoodie up Rey Mysterio catches Puma's fist. I wrote here, Rey Mysterio is Jedi.
Rey Mysterio believes in bad luck, and he's like, you're not getting 7 years for just some voices in your head.
Yes. Also, Rey is very concerned that Puma is getting too close with Zompiro, which is any amount of closeness with Zompiro at all is too close.
Well, I think Vampiro's fine, but Zompiro,
Zompiro's a problem.
Yeah.
It's the interesting side of Vampiro's personalities. I think Ian and Zompiro are different people. I think Zompiro and Zompiro, zombified master version of Zompiro, are much closer.
Okay.
Like, I think Zompiro is aware of Zompiro's actions. Do you know what I mean?
Rey Mysterio says, don't hang out with Zompiro. Look at Norman Smiley. And then Puma's like, wow. I can't. I don't know where he is. And then Ray's like, exactly.
He's training wrestlers at the WWE. He's financially taken care of, but it's a shame we don't get to see him in the ring anymore.
But we get to see his style be influenced in the younger generation.
Best body slam to have ever done it. Ray warns Puma that Zompiro is using you for his own agenda. Puma says, like you, Ray? Like Conan? Puma is full-on 28-year-old little shit. right now. He is just like Rey Mysterio is asking Puma where he got this marijuana, where he learned to smoke, and Puma's just like, I got it from you, Rey. I learned from you.
I wrote down he must be on drugs, that drug called Muertes.
I mean, a little bit. A drug called the cakes of Muertes.
Just so much death has gone into Puma that he's now damaged goods, because when you die, you also lose your virginity.
Okay.
Because virginity is the pureness leaving you through consummation, so...
I hate how not Christian, but Christian you are sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Bible, Proverbs. How about we get the preverbs first?
I mean, that's a good point. Where are those preverbs, you sons of bitches?
How about you get some reverbs in the church and I might go?
It's like you don't know anything about the Bible or like what Christian churches are trying to do to them. But every now and again, you start saying something and it's like, oh, that is verbatim some propaganda that was taught to me in like Christian Sunday school or something.
What other people don't understand is that I am just being a parody of those people, because when I was in high school, I never went to things like this, but I heard about it because you got to know the enemy. I used to think like the Christian right, they're the enemy.
I mean, they still are. Hold on. Continue to think that. They exceedingly are.
No, you want to know? You can see both sides.
All right. Some really good.
Oh, now
really
we're just going to cancel people for Christ? You sound a lot like the Romans, okay?
Oh my God. I'm gonna crucify you after this episode, but let's get through it first.
Thank goodness. I'd love to be crucified upside down or right side up, or maybe lying down with the Mother Mary.
No, don't turn me crucifying you to death into a sexual thing.
It could be.
You will not enjoy me crucifying you. That's my promise to anyone I crucify. Either soon or a couple of days from now, you will not sexually enjoy the way I crucify you.
I'll counterpoint this. When Jesus got crucified, who came to show up? His mother,
the
Mary.
Boner police. Oh, okay.
So when I get crucified, she'll appear as, a heavenly figure with those holy titties, dude.
Did you think if you popped a boner while you were being crucified, they would let you down? It's gonna poke someone's eye out.
They might hammer you a little bit harder because it might, poke them in the face.
It's gonna make it harder. Like, if you are popping a boner while being crucified and they just start hammering harder, guess what else is getting harder?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta think about that. Romans, hey, I just want you to get ready. Next time you try crucifying me or my buddy James here, wear some protective eyewear. That's all I gotta say.
Scientifically, biologically, when you get cut or something, get a boner. You need to conserve the blood, and it needs to go to the penis so it's not going out of your cuts.
Yes, this is scientific biology. Remember when you said we need to make this a very timely episode?
Oh, timely, as in it's of the moment, yeah?
More as in we can't spend 15 minutes talking about crucifixion boners.
Hey, this is on you, man. You could have went on to talk about, I don't know, how the trios champions are up for a re-election.
We could have talked about a lot of things. Let's finish this bathroom segment before we talk about the re-election of the trios champions. Puma's being a little shit to Rey. Rey's trying to he tells Puma that Zompiro is not his friend. He's not your master. And I love this because the music stops. When Lucha Underground gets cinematic, baby, the music just stops as Puma looks into the mirror, looks into himself before telling Rey, neither are you. And then musically, Norman Bates cues the strings to really punch back in as Puma leaves.
And Puma goes, rawr.
No, he doesn't this time.
Whoa, he's no longer a Puma, he's a prince, though.
He's still a Puma and he's still a prince, but he's also the ward of Zompiro. If Zompiro is Batman, he is a Robin. Which Robin would Puma be if Zompiro was Batman?
Oh, it's Jason Todd.
I was going to say Jason Todd, and I didn't want to say Jason Todd, but I was going to say Jason Todd.
Well, now he's Red Hood.
Oh, yeah, Jason Todd. It is. I sometimes forget how much of a makeover Jason Todd got.
I thought you were going to say how much a Make-A-Wish kid Jason Todd was.
No, that I remember. I think that's kind of that's the thing about Jason Todd is no, he's a pretty cool character now.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
From being voted on by the fans of Batman to be child murdered by the Joker to being a pretty cool character. Hell of a glow up, Jason Todd. So yeah, Puma walks away. All of a sudden, Master Vampiro, Zompiro, appears behind Ray in the mirror. Vampiro straight tells Ray, stay away from him, Ray. Unlike his last master, I will send you straight to hell. Ray turns, Zompiro is gone, but not his words. They continue to echo in Ray's ears as Ray punches the mirror. Really cool opening segment. I liked that. We cut over to the desk. James is nodding silently, so I know he approves as well.
Yeah, we cut over to the desk, and Nicole had some issues with one thing Stryker said, which was, the night is huge. And she's like, how is the night huge?
Big stinky night tonight.
It is huge.
And because there is no time limit on the sudden death championship match tonight, quick little recap from last week, all night long, the Iron Man match between Mac and Johnny Mundo was last week, went to a draw. So tonight we are opening with a sudden death round. First pinfall or submission wins the championship. Now, because this is sudden death from last week, there is no time limit for this match. And I love that they didn't spend too much time on it, just like enough to sort of like, here are the rules, not just to this match, but like to our universe, like to our little world building. Here are the rules. So we're going into sudden death. There is no time limit. Technically, this match could go all night long.
They're like, we got permission from the El Rey Network. We will preempt the future programming if this takes 3 hours.
Yes, the latest Shaw Brothers movie that we are watching will be pushed back 30 minutes to 30 more minutes, depending on how much time we run over.
Captain Explosion by Lowbrow Studios will be on hiatus if this keeps going.
But just in case it does not go all night long, there are 2 matches potentially booked tonight. Possibly we'll see the Trios champions defend their titles tonight. And just maybe we'll see Prince Puma versus Mil Muertes in a Boyle Heights street fight. But will we see those matches tonight? It depends on how long this first match goes. The all-night-long sudden death final round between the Mac and champion Johnny Mundo.
Ooh, real quick, Lowbrow Studios Explosion Jones, not Captain Explosion.
Is that related to Osmosis Jones?
No.
Ah, damn it. There's a shout out to Susan Lucci early in this match, and hell yeah, shouts out to Susan Lucci, who played Erica Kane on the ABC soap opera All My Children, which is cool. Dario has one more thing to say before the bell rings. He recaps for anyone who missed the all night long beautiful match of last week, just like, hey, this is what's going on. This is why we're here. And Dario adds a little bit, because Johnny retained through the champion's advantage. Like, he is still champion because it was a draw, not because he won. Mm-hmm. Dario's going to give a little advantage to the Mac tonight. Tonight's sudden death round is Falls Count Anywhere rules. No disqualification. You can pin in the ring, outside the ring, on the hood of your car. You can pin anywhere.
You can also pig in the ring. Throw a pig in there, and then, Johnny's like, what am I supposed to do with this? But Mac, he lived on the street. He knows feral dogs, so he can work with a feral pig.
Yeah. I hear, yes. Mm-hmm.
Pig in the ring.
Also is a big advantage because of all the Falls Count Anywhere wars that Mac has had with Cage. I would call this Mac's specialty because of all the old, like, how him and Cage took each other to hell and back in Falls Count Anywhere matches. But also the feral pig thing, that's another huge advantage for Mac.
Yeah, I want to see Johnny Mundo's like, screw this, I'm going to get the heat I deserve and just DDT's a pig.
God damn him to hell. Dario rings the bell. Yeah.
They unzip the pig. Oh, whoa, there's a zipper on the back of this pig. Guess what? It was a dog all along. Johnny Mundo is the new spokesman for the Dominator.
We don't have the time for me to tell you how bad of an idea that is. We can't.
Oh,
but just
Mr.
know-
Oh, anything Mundo does is gold. But him promoting the Dominator isn't?
Anything Mundo does is gold. Anything you do, James, involves the Dominator, a psychic torture device used against dogs.
And dog owners.
Yeah, it's not great.
Because I think we have started pivoting like it.
You
to,
have pivoted. I have pivoted nothing. I'm
saying the Royal We, okay?
All right, then.
The Royal Rumble. Well, guess what? The Royal Rumble is now, it's Mundo and we get 15 dog owners. Just like, they're on TikTok. They're pieces of shit. They're like, did I adopt him or did he adopt me? He saved my life. And they're like, oh, I'm going to dress. They're like the people who do the mulch stuff, like the videos people take for the mulch memes. Those people are in the ring and they're like, what are we here for? That we heard our pooches are going to get free spa days. And Mundo comes in there. He's like, fuck you guys. And just DDT. And then Max shows up. Whoa, okay, Max here to defend us. He stunners all these fuckers, spraying beer on them, showing pictures of their dogs, just ripping them up in front of their faces.
Yeah.
Sending the dogs to a kill shelter. We really don't, but it's to like scare. Like that's what the Dominator is now. It's mental torture for the owners.
It's if you have been following along to the Dominator saga,
congratulate me, okay? I saw the error of my ways, and now I'm going after the people who really deserve it.
I can't believe that this is such a better alternative to the Dominator. It is. Congratulations. It are in order. This is a much better alternative to the Dominator.
Yeah.
It's still horrible, but it's better. The bell rings. There's a match. Ding. Johnny stretches out the gams. He opens with some low kicks, some toe kicks. Mac hits a big old Samoan drop, standing moonsault combo, pins for 2. Mac gets countered out of the corner. Johnny kicks him in the face. Desperate pin for 1. It seems like Johnny's picked up a lot more on what the Mac can do. He's not as helpless in the first rounds as he's been in the past. But it's still a lot of Mac. Especially after Johnny, looks for a springboard and Mac catches him mid-air with a stunner. Which is always the coolest thing in the world. Johnny's like, I'm gonna fly! Stunner. And I love this. Johnny rolls out, as you do when your opponent hits their finisher and you have some energy left. You're like, oh, let me roll out of the ring so I can't be pinned. And Mac's like, I have experience in this field. It's a falls count anywhere. So he chases after him. He pins him on the outside, covers for 2.
At this point, I was like, where's the second referee? Where is the second referee? We eventually do see a second referee, but make it known, one's for the ring, one's for the outside of the ring, because I don't want any fuckery happening in this match today.
Yeah, we also need a third referee for all the dog owners who happen to find their way into domination.
Oh, well, that Cage is back there. Now Cage is a literal cage. He is a machine, and he's just DDTing dog owners now.
Great.
They're like, where's my doggo? He says, I don't know where a doggo is, unless that's one of the D's in DDT. Ganesh!
The floor seat's clear as Max sits Johnny down in the second row before flipping sentoning Johnny to hell. I loved that spot. He was like, here, Johnny, you sit here. I'm going to jump over the first row of seats and throw my entire body weight into your face and crunch the chairs behind you. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Holy shit chants, lucha chants. The match is hot. Match is hot as hell.
It's steamy.
Mm-hmm. Mac pulls an endless pit of chairs from under the ring. James does not agree with Matt Stryker's call on commentary, it seems.
What was the call?
Matt called this an endless pit of chairs.
Yeah.
As Mac just keeps pulling chairs out from under the ring.
I'm okay with that call because I think the chair shit needs to go. Yeah, it's violent. There are I'm not even talking about that. I think it fucks with the pace of matches when you're like, I know I've said this about tables for sure. Just get rid of the shit. Like, you have to pull it out. Start with the chair inside of the ring, and then it's like, hey, this is a chair match. What can we do with this chair from the beginning to take each other down? But when it's just like, hey, let me pull this out, it just, because there's such a stark difference in my interest from this match to the next matches that are just like, hey, we're showing you wrestling. And I know, oh, the chairs are part of wrestling now. Shut up, okay?
All right.
Get it out of there. We can change. We can be better. It's the bodies that make wrestling, not the chairs.
I mostly entirely agree with you. The only part I don't is when you got defensive and created a straw man against yourself for some reason.
Who was the straw man?
What was the thing you said right before the last thing you said? It was like, oh, get the chair. It's part of wrestling. Shut up. Whoever you told shut up to.
Oh, that's just other people that would be like, oh, we love the chairs. And it's like, no, man, it sucks.
No, you're allowed to love the chair. Well, that's the other thing. You're allowed to love the chair. And you're allowed to also not, if it doesn't upset your rhythm, like, God bless you. But it's interesting. And I mean, you kind of hit on why you usually don't book a hardcore match first on the bill.
Oh, yeah.
Is because, like, it is that first, a lot of times you're something a little more attention grabby. And if you don't, like 9 times out of it almost goes to, there's another wrestling is a idiom of like, if you can't have a good match in 5 minutes, you can't have a good match in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. As it applies to arts on a whole, if you cannot boil down the essentials of what you're doing, like if you don't have those fundamentals, you probably don't have anything.
Yeah.
And there's there's a lot of truth to it. I'm not really upset by taking a couple seconds to grab a chair, especially like, this was after that senton spot that, like, you could hear a couple of chairs, like, break when Mac threw himself into Johnny. So, yeah, giving Johnny a second to catch his breath, making sure his ribs didn't dislocate while he pulls out. And it is a pile of chairs. He's not pulling just one chair out. He's getting a whole endless pit of chairs.
He was already on a pile of chairs. Just use one of those chairs.
No, but these are metal, and they're from under the ring. So they're different.
That means they probably like are all rusted out. That's dangerous.
Yes, very dangerous.
The other one's just wrestling fans. Oh, wait, nope. They were sitting on those, probably even more dangerous.
All right.
No, those are front row people. They have buco money, okay?
And Johnny has a buco problem on his hands, caught between a pile of chairs and the Mac. He throws one of them edge first, like that top of the chair, you know, where like your head is. Mm-hmm. He chucks that right into Johnny's like groin, it looks like. It's so fucking dangerous. Johnny's eyes even go wide, like, why did you throw the chair like that? It's getting mean out here. Max, then he picks up Johnny, power slam position, but like he has a chair, so he's sandwiching Johnny between himself, the Mac, as well as the chair he's holding, then takes a running start to hit a spinning power slam on the pile of chairs. That was insane. It looked like it should have been the finish.
Oh, well, it was. Johnny dies, right?
Would you be surprised to see? No, he survives.
He's the strongest man alive then.
This is why I love him. Me and Taya and Ricky Mandel, which we'll get into in a second. This is why we love him. He's so strong. But he is practically dead. He got power slammed to hell and an endless pit of chairs. Johnny eventually props himself up against a ring post. Like he can barely stand, but he's standing. He ducks Mac's chair shot attempt before scurridly climbing into the balcony seating to jump over another Mac chair shot and get really deep in the crowd. Like he's trying to create distance. There's a stalemate. Even though Johnny has the high ground, he cannot close the distance as Mac wields a chair. Like keeps like, yeah, it's great. Until Ricky Mandel shows up to yoink the chair away from Mac and distract him long enough for Johnny to parkour flip and drop his knee on the back of Mac's neck.
No!
Cover for 2. Ricky pleads for Johnny to tell me what to do. Tell me what to do, Johnny, my master, please. And Johnny says chainsaw. Johnny wants Ricky Mandel to find a chainsaw.
Dang, I made a joke. I didn't hear him say that, but I was like, wouldn't it be cool if Mac got a chainsaw?
We almost did. If Ricky Mandel could have done his damn job, we would have had a chainsaw. Instead, he can only find a trash can. But he does not find Sexy Star, who is hiding around the corner and double legs the shit out of him and beats him up to the back.
Nicole and I were so excited to what we thought was going to happen, which she starts pulling his shirt up over his head. We were like, she's just going to hockey punch him to hell. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
She just removes the shirt. But it's like, that would have been so funny if she's like, no, you have a shirt on. I'm going to hockey punch you.
Honestly, I would love to see more hockey punches in wrestling. It's a good fight. It's a fun way to beat someone up.
Yeah, hockey punches and wedgies. That's what we need more of.
Yeah, about time. Johnny overhand whacks Mac with the trash can. Mac is still standing. Strike exchange. As Mac gets the better of it before he breaks Johnny over the trash can with that spine buster. Hoa. Pins for 2.9.
Well, that's a 3. You round it up, right? It's kind of like in, oh, wait, no, it's like in James Bond speed running where it goes down to the next, unless you surpass it, it doesn't go. Also like in Doom speed running.
Oh, man, I need to watch speedrunners. I feel like maybe that's going to be my new, like, go to bed white noise, is just people speed running.
I would recommend Carl Jobst. He reports on speed running and like high score stuff. Like his Doom speed running stuff is so amazing because he will take you on the 30-year journey that it took these people to get this, like break this speed run that is only by 1 second. Like if it was 19 seconds to beat this level, someone finally after like 20 years when it was set, someone finally brought it down to 18 seconds, and it's this huge, like, front page nerd story, and it's just wild because when you do a Doom speed run, you send in, like, the demo file, which is just, like, you get to see every single input, all of that, of this speed run, which means there are speed runs from 1998 that you can now see in HD because those files still work on new versions of Doom. So you get to see this person who's just a master of their craft, but it's 20, 30 years ago. It's so great.
That's like, wow.
I'll send you videos.
I feel like that's so rare. What is this? Carl?
Carl Jobst. Carl with a K and then Jobst.
Hell yeah. Thank you for sending that over to me. Yes. Like for anything to be that diligently record kept is very impressive.
Yeah, it rules. And he started out in GoldenEye speedrunning, so he is a speedrunner of some note.
Hell yeah. Also shouts out to the Internet Archive. It gives me Internet Archive vibes of like, not like this is impressive and like if you're into speed, like is still important to this craft, this speed running craft we perform to this day. Like let's preserve our history and then learn from it, and then you're a better person.
And if you want to get on a darker note, because Doom levels, you can like archive those and play them on HD and all of that. Cleburne and the other dude, Harrison Cleburne, whatever their names was, the Columbine shooters, they uploaded levels that they created, and now in retrospect, it's like, oh, this is kind of the layout of their school. Yeah, it's really fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah. And like I also found out they made videos, and they some of them were released. Videos of them talking about and planning this shooting, which means this was premeditated for months, and no one had the wherewithal to be like, hey, we should probably be looking at these kids like they're making these videos. Like, it's wild. Yeah. If you watch...
Maybe we should interact with these children on some level. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, interact with your children or the children you are in charge of.
Yeah, I watched a video on like disturbing lost media because there are many other videos that the FBI's like, yeah, we catalog these, we know what's in them. You can read what happens in them, but they destroyed the tapes out of respect to the families. Yeah, it's really messed up, but it's like fascinating in a true crime sense that this bullshit happened.
I mean, fascinating in a lot of sense.
It's crazy how like all of this stuff happened. It was like the perfect case in a sense to study from, but no one fucking learned from it to be like, hey, you want to know what this kid's probably going to shoot? Like all the tell signs are there. We know because of the Columbine shit, but nothing is being done. It's so fucked up.
It is wild how cowardly people can be.
Like the Christian right.
Yep. Fuck VeggieTales. VeggieTales, again, not the worst as far as the Christian right goes. And not even that right. But it inspired a whole lot of shit that covers up the Columbine shooters. Because people are afraid that they might be wrong. And oh no, my guns. Yeah. I was not prepared to dig into the political cowardice and what has been gained by covering up lessons learned from Columbine and other tragedies.
But what you are able to dig into is the cowardice of the worldwide underground.
Oh, these fuckers. So yeah, Spinebuster under the trash can. Johnny kicks out 2.9. That's where we left off. Mac goes to pull a table from under the ring. He gets about halfway out when the table, it gets stuck on something. So Mac crawls under the ring to get the table out. Whack! Whacked by PJ Black, who was hiding under the ring the entire time, yet again.
Come on, Mac.
This is PJ maybe PJ's not allowed to change in the locker room. He has to get changed under the ring, so that's why he's under there.
Okay. Maybe because people feel a little inferior when he starts changing.
Yep, because of his big penis.
Or, his glutes or something.
Yeah.
Or he probably has like a gnarly ass tattoo.
There are a variety of reasons, which we could only speculate to, why PJ is so damn banging and why he has to change under the ring so that he doesn't make anyone else feel bad.
He has a tattoo of everyone on the roster. It's like a group photo of all their moms in bikinis.
Whoa, PJ.
Yeah, so they're like, no, unless you get that covered up, you cannot and you will not change with us.
Son of Havoc's mom is handing out the pizza rolls.
Oh, she's dead center and in the first fight with her hands holding pizza bagel bites.
That come hither look, but not just sexually, it's come hither and get a taste of these bagel bites. I meant pizza bites. Fuck.
Come on. Bagel. Wait, did you say bagel bites?
Yeah.
No, bagel bites is the name.
I thought they were pizza bites.
No, they're bagel. They're pizza
bagel
bites.
I thought it was pizza rolls.
No, it says at the end of every single episode, like promotional furnishings brought to you by Pizza Bagel Bites.
James, please stop yelling at me.
This is now like the third time you've been like, oh yeah, there's no difference between pizza bagel bites and pizza rolls.
PJ Black is under the ring. He has a kendo stick. He is whacking Mac over the head with the kendo stick. So yeah, PJ comes out with the table. He sets the table up on the floor. He brings Mac to the apron. And then in a very smart move, he chokes the guy whose finisher is a stunner from behind with the kendo stick. And James, would you believe that Mac counters this with a stunner?
I can believe.
There's a great looking stunner. He hits the stunner. PJ Black recoils up and back through the table to the floor.
Actually, I believe,
Okay. What?
Because I'm a Justin Bieber fan.
Oh, nice. Mac steps back into the ring where Mundo is waiting and poised with a springboard roundhouse kick. Covers Mac for 2. Zompiro is so incredibly unbiased for Mac.
I feel like Zompiro is unbiased for a lot of people.
That's also true.
I think the only people he's not is like when Cage and Tejano were up against each other. He's like, both of these dudes fucking rule. I don't care who wins.
Yeah, but I feel like even every now and then something will slip and he'll be like, oh, wait, I like this guy. Hold on. Fin de Mundo, the Starship Pain, the corkscrew splash from Johnny Mundo, is countered as Mac lifts the knees. Mac sits out with his powerbomb and pins, but Johnny somehow kicks again.
No!
Johnny rolls to the corner. Mac eyes the pile of chairs, that endless pit of chairs, still outside the ring. Mac and Johnny fight and counter each other for apron position. Like Mac wants to suplex Johnny over the ropes onto the pile of chairs and kill him dead. However, just as Mac gets Johnny in position, here comes the return of Taya.
Woo!
Yay! To pull Johnny back into the ring. Oh.
Dang it. I thought she was here to just be like an unbiased person in the crowd.
Unfortunately, no, she saw how biased she was gonna be. This is true. I read this online. She was here to be an unbiased member of the crowd until she heard Vampiro's commentary and said, well, that's just not plain fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then she became super duper biased and helped Johnny cheat to win. Johnny gets back in the ring, and just that little bit of advantage, that little bit of positioning, Johnny ends up hitting a flipping powerbomb over the ropes into the pile of chairs. It's disgusting. And this is the finish. Johnny pins Mac over the pile of chairs, the endless pit of chairs, picks up the win in 9 minutes and 47 seconds. Johnny and Taya celebrate in the ring. Welcome to Slamtown, bitches. Plays as we cut to commercial.
Boo.
Johnny is our Lucha Underground champion still. Great match, though.
Johnny's been officially dropped as spokesman for the Dominator. We are doing open casting calls, so if you're interested, please come on the podcast. I'll give you an audition.
James, as much as I want to have nothing to do with the Dominator, we need Johnny Mundo. Please don't take out your anger, your bias towards the Mac on Johnny. He can push so many units. Marketing synergy. Think of it, James. Marketing synergy.
I got someone new. He's coming in right now. She's coming in right now.
Do we have time for this bit?
She'll be real quick. Come on, you guys know her from past presentations of this show. Okay. You know her from Hello. Oi, fuckers, it's me, Odell, again. People know me as playing the Ivories. Mm-hmm. Oh, but I got me a guitar. I'm going to take it and smash it up against the doggo owner. And they're going to cry and they're going to be fucking dead, mate. Toodaloos, mateys.
Toodaloo, Adele. Thank you. James, I was wrong. That was a great call.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, you were right.
Adele, it was a great call, but we'll call you back, Adele, if you're in the running.
Toodaloo. Dario is in the ring now. He is boasting how Lucha Underground has revolutionized the entire underground fighting industry. I did not realize underground fighting was a whole industry. Good for them. What with their Dials of Dooms, their Ultimate Opportunities, the Battle of the Bulls tournaments, they're doing a lot for the underground fighting economy.
Real quick, I learned this today. Speaking of underground things, did you know that guy pardoned the owner and operator of the Silk Road?
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's super fucked up. He's like, yeah, drugs are bad unless they're dealt with and made in America. It's so fucked up.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That dude's getting woke, guys. He hates cops. He loves it when his followers punch them. And, he's really into drugs, I guess.
I'm sorry. I disassociated for a second again. What are we doing?
We are now discussing Dario doing some shit.
Dario is doing some shit. He's boasting about all the cool things Lucha Underground is doing for the underground fighting world. And who do we have to thank? Well, look at the sign on the door. Proprietor Dario Cueto. Thank me, he says. Thank me. Especially for my new idea. This manic pixie dream boss has another new, exciting, violent plan. Melissa, lift that beautiful new trophy. And Melissa from the ramp lifts the Cueto Cup. Vampiro would like to fill it with Jägermeister and shoot it. But more importantly, Melissa brings the cup to the ring as Dario snatches it.
Real quick, does he mean to drink it or with a gun to shoot it?
Yeah, that was not made clear. And James, I don't have an answer for you at this time.
But what Dario does have an answer for is to Melissa, which he says, out! Only one beautiful thing allowed in the ring at a time.
Yeah, that's a very important rule to Dario. But we do have a new cup. 32 participants will fight in the tournament for this cup. And the winner will get not just the cup, but an opportunity. They are guaranteed a match at Ultima Lucha 3 for the Lucha Underground Championship.
Real quick, people who are like, oh, does Dario not think Taya and Evil Lise are beautiful because they've fought together in the ring? Well, Dario sees the beautiful thing in the ring at that time as the violence.
I like that. Dario has a whole lot of announcements going on. He has to announce Johnny's next challenger. However, he does get sidetracked halfway to talk about family drama, which is one of the many reasons I love Dario Cueto so much. It's like, yeah, there's a new tournament and it's going to announce the number one contender. But who is the number one contender in the meantime? Well, I'll tell you about it, but first, my brother. Oh, jeez.
I hated this because it's like, I hate
it.
when people go off on tangents, okay? Stay on subject.
I love it for Dario so much, though. Like, it's the perfect, like, you messy little bitch.
No, Sean, the joke there is that's all we do.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, you've
James,
been mementoed.
I've been memento. I don't remember I don't remember anything from this podcast. I think last week I said, I can't believe they were calling Johnny Mundo, Johnny Rudo. They've been calling him that for months, for seasons now.
Yeah.
I have definitely commented on it. I have, yeah. But yeah, he talks shit about his brother, how his brother got beat up by Rey Mysterio. Anyway, Johnny will defend his title at the Cueto Cup against Rey Mysterio. You see, it wasn't a tangent. It was coming all back around. And the Trios Championships will be defended right now. James, you are giving thumbs down. You've been doing it ever since I said Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio and Johnny Mundo have fought before in other companies. They have both been like champions in WWE.
So?
You could have done Cage. You could have done Azteca Jr. You could have done Tejano. Like all these other dudes. I mean, I guess Tejano in the grand scheme of things, but not in America. Tejano's been like the champ in Mexico. But like, it just seems like boring booking of just, hey, let's get these legacy dudes fighting each other. Like, no, give some other cool shit. I think it's a little dismissive
to call Rey Mysterio just a legacy dude. He is like the most famous.
I guess I think he's great,
but it's like, it's Rey Mysterio.
I think he's fucking awesome. But it's the fact that it is Mundo and Mysterio. If instead it were like Mac versus Ray, I would have been like, holy fucking shit, that's great. But it's when you it's like, hey, WrestleMania is gonna be this year. John Cena and The Rock is the main. What the fuck, guys? It has that kind of feeling where you could have just given someone else a chance to be like, you are on top now.
I mean, yes and no. Yes, you can't do that. And I'm sorry, I'm saying yes and no before even, what am I saying yes and no to? Do I agree with that? Yes and no. Like, it's important to give opportunities and it is important to stay fresh. And a lot of the times, like, I was watching, I was watching wrestling during Edge versus Cena part 53 or in versus Cena part 6. Like, I've seen, and they had like a real problem doing that in that company. I'm trying to think of like, I'm sure Mundo and Mysterio fought. I can't give you anything off the top of my head. But I'm sure they met up at some point.
Probably in December to Dismember in the 6-person cage.
We need to watch it. No, I don't think Ray was not in that match. I like how quickly I'm just like very serious. No, Ray was not in that match. Excuse me. Part of that, like, I agree with, but there is also something to, sometimes you just need to put your two biggest stars in a match together. It's in the biggest show of the year. Or actually, no, I guess because this wouldn't be for Ultima Lucha. This would be for something else. But yeah, like, Rey Mysterio is insane. He's Rey Mysterio. He's arguably the greatest luchador in modern wrestling history, possibly in wrestling history, period, And Johnny Mundo, a guy that has not gotten a lot of looks in WWE, but like, I don't know, every time I see him in this series, I'm like, yeah, he's one of the greatest of all time. It's insane how much good work he does.
They have been in about 25 matches together before this match.
So like, yeah, they've gone each other for a while. Yeah, they've probably gone at each other for a minute. It doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make it bad. And it doesn't even like, sometimes you want to see people wrestle each other a couple of times. And wrestle each other in a new company with a style that they're not really, doing in WWE. WWE was not a work rate company by any means. which is it's gonna be interesting in like 10 years from now. People who are watching WWE today and they're seeing a lot more. Do you know what? And does that make sense when I say work rate matches?
No.
Work rate matches are basically just good wrestling matches.
Okay.
That like even if you just turn this on and maybe you like action movies, but you have no idea what the storylines are going on, and you can still be like, hey, that was a cool fight scene I just watched. That's a work. Yeah. WWE historically has not been a work rate company, right? They always prioritize stories and characters. And then especially at this time, it's becoming kind of not fun in how two-dimensional it's becoming in their cartoonishness. This is me criticizing WWE from 2015. Very important commentary I'm making right now. But yeah, I feel like nowadays, a lot of the matches they're doing now is a lot more work rate driven. I mean, the wrestlers you have now, I know Raw only had like 3 or 4 matches, but they were 3 or 4, over 3 hours is crazy. But they were really good matches. That wasn't happening at the time. So to see John and Ray, that like part of it is people excited to see these two huge names being able to wrestle in a different style, in a more work rate style.
I guess, but when you saw Puma versus Ray, like
it was exciting.
This like young dude versus a man he for sure grew up idolizing. Like that shit rules. I want to see some more of that, but both Ray and Johnny are still top tier wrestlers at this time. I just think story wise, if Ray wins, wow, Ray's the champ. I guess, it's ushers in a new era. You had Puma, who is a good guy. We've really just had shit heels as champs since Mill won.
Yeah, I mean, because we get people who held it, like good guys who held it for like a day.
Yeah,
like Phoenix and Sexy Star. Yeah, no one holds it for like longer than a week if they're a good guy.
Yeah, so hopefully he makes the things look cooler. You know what I mean, but let's move on.
Sure. Trios championship match. Drago, Phoenix, and Aerostar take on Cobra Moon, Vibora, and Pindar. I had it in my recap notes, there is a millennia of beef between Drago and Cobra Moon. Mm-hmm. I'm not even... James, could you do a recap in 30 seconds? I can try, I'm just not sure how I would.
So Drago was a part of the serpent or dragon, whatever you want to call them,
I think we
tribe.
called them reptiles in the past.
All right,
tribe.
The reptilian tribe. Mm-hmm. And eventually Drago kind of was their soldier to like kill, I think. At least that's how it's been portrayed. Like he was their top guy. And then he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm out. Like this isn't conducive to how I want to live out in eternity. Because if you're just killing for eons, eventually you're going to be tired of it. Do anything for eons. So now he's kind of in his hippie phase of like, I need to find myself.
By the way, that is a message to all the Gooners out there. You do anything for eons, you eventually get tired of it. Go take a shower. Go outside real quick.
Gooners?
Porn will be there. Yeah, because Gooners, like, they masturbate for hours and then they never come.
Well, they don't need to take a shower, You could take a shower before you start gooning and you're still good.
You could honestly, you can do both. No one's gonna stop you.
But maybe don't
there's a
goon
water
in the
crisis.
shower. Yeah, that's what, yeah.
Yeah. Pay attention to your water levels, Los Angeles Gooners. So we're talking about wrestling. That's on me. You know what? That tangent was on me, and I take full responsibility for it.
I know, something I probably said 20 minutes ago that popped into your head.
Maybe. James, you nailed it. Drago broke away. He was tired of leading these forces to war. That was a millennia ago. Cut to recently, where Drago was kidnapped by the reptilian tribe and held hostage, really broken by Cobra. 2 weeks ago, he was freed by Aerostar and Phoenix in the ring. They released him from his shackles. He didn't seem 100% there, though. I guess I know Stockholm Syndrome is not a perfect diagnosis. I know I feel like that's one of those things that are looked at like years later and it's like, it's not exactly a thing like we thought it was. But I think that's kind of what's going on here is some version of, he's been brainwashed a little bit. He'll be okay. Give him a couple weeks.
StockHOMIE Syndrome is kind of the same thing, but it's when you defend your friends. It's like, yeah, they sack tap people. They still think that's cool. But like, besides that, he's a good guy. That's StockHOMIE Syndrome.
That's actually a very important definition that people should be aware of. Hey, next time Next time you go home for the holidays and you think about defending that one piece of shit friend that you never actually liked, but you're afraid of yourself, and you think you're not worth having friends, so you keep defending their shitty behavior. You're better than that.
Or they just were around.
Don't tip into StockHOMIE Syndrome. You're better than people who are just around.
Yeah. So it's Vibora is Luchasaurus?
Yes.
Vibora I wrote down because someone says like, hey, I can't trust them as far as I can throw them. I think Stryker probably said that. But I wrote down, Vibora cannot say that because that dude can throw people pretty far.
He can throw just about anybody. Yeah. He is a large motherfucker.
I hope we see great. A Vibora versus Cage. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I mean, we must have had AEW at some point. And of course, well wishes. Hope he has a speedy recovery. But like, yeah, he's so cool. It's so cool to watch him work. Aerostar and Pindar start this match off. Pindar has got the size and strength, but Aerostar's technique and quickness, pardon the pun, is out of this world. Because he's a spaceman. He's very good.
You want to know why Luchasaurus isn't a high flyer? It's not because he's like, oh, like I'm like my body can't do it. It just wouldn't look cool because like he jumps off the top ropes and like, oh, I'm on the ground now.
Yeah, he jumps off the top rope. His head breaks the ceiling. He's just too big.
Yeah, that too.
Pindar deflects a lot of Aerostar's offense in these opening goes, but that's like really all he can do. Like he can't get a handle on Aerostar. He can just sort of deflect him. Like at one point, Pindar redirects Aerostar mid-flight, tummy first, onto the top rope. Even then, Aerostar's like, ow, okay, climb up to the top then. And then he finally lands a huge wallop with a springboard tornillo. Aerostar onto Pindar. And Aerostar keeps rolling. Throws Pindar out of the ring, springboards off the bottom rope to superhero pose, which is always really cool. I just love like in the middle of the ring, like, this is in the middle of a match. Hey, I'm going to stop attacking you so I can superhero pose. And it does more like it's reset because they mentioned so much of how Aerostar's technique is succeeding is timing and spacing. Like if you were playing a fighting game and like it's cool that you know all the combos, but if you don't know how to punish, like if you don't have the timing to like, yeah, I'm talking about competitive fighting games. We do a lot of stuff on this podcast.
It was a back and forth of like me womping you in Tekken Tag Team, and then you immediately are like, oh wait, no, I'm really good at this guy, and then you just immediately womp Lance and I.
Yeah, Horeng, baby. But like, it's great if you know the combos. If you don't know the timing, how to punish someone, how to like get them to whiff, so you can actually start your combo. You know, you're not gonna do anything. I'd rather have someone who knows no combos but understands punishments than the other way around. And Aerostar, he's a footsie master. So yeah, Aerostar he keeps rolling. Eventually, it's going well until Cobra finally starts calling shots. Cobra kind of just like, oh right, I am the queen. You guys have to do what I say. She tells Pindar to bait Arrow into the corner so that it tags in Vibora, and it's just it slams and grounds the smaller luchador. It is a problem for poor Aerostar. Eventually, Pindar wants to power slam Arrow off of the top rope. Aerostar escapes, stands on Pindar's shoulders before crashing Pindar into the mat with a Frankensteiner. Arrow's a little too far away for the tag, so Phoenix just gets in there, which is one of the things I love about trios matches. It's like, I need this tag. Fuck it, I'm just gonna kick Vibora in the face now. So he runs in, he kicks Vibora in the face. Eventually knocks him off the apron onto the floor, but it would prove to be Phoenix's mistake, following Vibora to the floor, as Vibora catches Phoenix into a tombstone pile driver, takes him out of the match.
Unless his back is turned, you shouldn't be jumping into this man's arms.
No. Into the ring, Aerostar reaches to tag in Drago. Drago does not reach, however. Instead, he gives Aerostar the green mist into the eyes.
No.
Drago turns on the trios. I'm actually very upset by this.
Which is fine. That, like, yes, he's still possessed. Cool. That I was expecting this to happen. However,
well, it's a whole ass thing. Pindar turns Arrow inside out with a slam. Cobra beckons Drago to join their corner, which he does. He walks across the ring and, tags himself in on the reptile's side of the corner. and it's a triple team body splash from the reptiles. And 1, 2, 3, we have 2/3 new trios champions. Drago retains alongside his new champion partners, Pindar and Vibora. Match ends in 5 minutes and 34 seconds.
It doesn't know. The match was officiated in the beginning to be Drago, Phoenix, and Aerostar versus the other three. Okay, fine, you want to freaking spit some mist, that's okay. But Drago can't be pinning Aerostar or Phoenix because then it's just like they're the same team.
I would agree with you. There is a reason and I'm so glad you brought this up because James, you have an excellent point. Like this match, normally you can't just join. If last night, we're recording this on Monday, the 27th, the Bills just lost the AFC championships to the Kansas City Chiefs again. If like halfway through the third quarter, Josh Allen just walked across the field and said, "Hey, I'm a Chief now." No, you can't do that. I agree. Mm-hmm. However, and I love that he said it's something that justified before. I don't know if you caught me sort of harping in that Dario in-ring promo when he says, "We have revolutionized the underground fighting industry." And it's that word that I'm like, I remember just like listening to it being like, that's kind of weird. Like underground, there is a fighting industry. There's a combat sports industry. The whole point of the underground fighting industry is that it's not really an industry. It's, it's underground fighting. But it's what justifies decisions like this.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, almost any wrestling sort of has referees' discretion is their big rule of suspended disbelief.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah. And honestly, it's one of those things where it can go too far because these are the rules to your world. And like in world building, if you don't play by your rules, it gives us, the audience, it's harder for us to latch onto something. But specifically because it is an underground fighting league, it's not like this is not commissioned. This is not like, WWE or WCW or like most wrestling shows sort of operate on like, this is a sports league. This is a professional sporting league. That's even with our zombie wizards and everything, this is a professional sport in storyline.
Yeah.
This is like, no, we're kind of underground. We're kind of fucked up. Like, maybe we're a little too twisted for your mom and dad's wrestling show.
Well, what you also get in underground fighting rings, when it's underground, you can have just a nude guy walking around trying to figure out why he's going up against Rey Mysterio.
You can do a lot. Yeah. Yes. And we will. Yes. We will have more. Rey Mysterio will put more new guys over. Rey Mysterio did put a lot of guys over so far. Like
Sean,
he's had some.
I transitioned you into the next scene.
Oh, God damn it. I'm sorry. I thought you were complaining. I am over here thinking you were complaining about Rey Mysterio getting an opportunity a new guy should have.
No, a nude guy.
Oh, nude guy.
Yes, Johnny Mundo, a nude in the next scene, and he has no time for pants.
Let's talk about naked Johnny Mundo for a second. We're in the locker room. Ricky Mandel is waiting for Johnny Mundo to come out of the shower. He does, only in the towel. Yaga, yaga, yaga.
Real quick, would you like a compliment?
I would love a compliment. Sure.
Nicole said, "Hey, that Ricky guy is like, he's kind of Sean if Sean were into cars."
Ricky is hold on, because like Ricky is a toxic fanboy to Johnny Mundo.
She doesn't know that. She's just basing this off his looks.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. It doesn't feel like a compliment, but I know it is one.
He's a hot stud.
Yeah, but he's such a piece of shit.
She doesn't know that.
Which she doesn't know. I understand. Which is why I know it is a compliment, and I thank you, Nicole. It just does not feel like one, and that's something you don't need to. That's something for me to internalize. That's something I take to my therapist. I don't need. All I need to say is thank you.
She watches a lot of Bill Maher, and she does say, "Man, that Bill Maher reminds me of Sean if Sean were insufferable."
Well, okay. Fuck Bill Maher.
Yeah, you want to, baby.
Back to the locker room, fucker. Johnny asks Ricky for the champagne he requested. A nervous Ricky says, "Tyre told me to hold on to it." And Johnny's confused. He's still champion, and he wants to celebrate all night long. Damn, Johnny, that was a long shower, Taya says as she enters. She has some bad news. There is a reason she told Ricky to hold the champagne. This kind of surprised me. So Taya says she has bad news. Johnny asks if it's Jack, showing some level of concern for sweet, sweet Jack Evans, who is injured. And it's like, he's still a bad person, Johnny Mundo character. He's still a toxic boss to Jack Evans. But it's interesting to see that sort of like, I don't know, even when someone's toxic, they're still sometimes a person. Yeah. And it's like, it's why you have to be so diligent when it's like, I don't know why it's why we fall for those, no, they're different this time, is sort of things. Because they have those moments of like, no, he really cared about me when I was injured and hurt. He asked for me. It's like, Jack, I don't know. I hope Jack is watching, and I hope someone is there watching with him, reminding him that Johnny doesn't care about him. Even though he asked about you, Jack, Johnny doesn't care about you. Not like we do.
And they should be saying, hey, Jack, I hear Mundo's out on the Dominator sponsorship. You might want to, throw your hat in the ring.
Here's the thing. Adele would kick the shit out of Jack Evans. Jack Evans is an elite athlete, and I don't want to take that away from him. Adele would kick the shit out of Jack Evans.
It's not about who's the better, fighter in this instance. Actually, it just...
No, I think Adele will find Jack Evans leaving the room and kick the shit out of him in the park. It won't even be up to us. We'll be organizing callbacks, and we'll be like, all right, Adele, hey, where's Jack? Has anyone seen Jack Evans? And Adele will be like, oh, not me. I haven't seen him all week. Shifty eye, shifty eye, shifty eye, because she definitely saw him all week. She kicked the shit out of him, so he couldn't make the callbacks.
This is the last thing I'll say on this. I know Adele.
Yeah.
She's just doing this as a favor. She really doesn't want this.
Oh, no. Then why is she beating up Jack Evans?
You're the one who made up this scenario.
Oh, yeah. So it's not... Oh, by the way, it's not Jack. The bad news is not Jack, it's worse. Taya tells Johnny that Dario has booked him to defend the title against Rey Mysterio. Johnny's eyes go wide and then down. Before telling Ricky to warm up the car, I need to get to my dojo. Ricky leaves, which was the part of the plan. Johnny does not want the kid to see him scared, but he does confide in Taya that Ray is no joke. Quote, if I'm going to take him to Slamtown, I'm going to have to train harder than I have ever trained in my entire life. And Johnny, with purpose, starts to walk towards the car. He is still naked, though, and Taya stops him, asks if he's going to put on pants. Johnny takes a beat, says, no time for pants. Oh, this is my champion. He's a piece of shit, and I love him.
Unfortunately, did have time for a towel.
Did have time, yeah. One day we'll see Johnny Dong. I feel so dirty saying that, as I the sentence started in my mind of someday we'll see Johnny Dong, and it's he doesn't deserve that. No one should. I don't need to put that publicly.
This is
if
why
I didn't comment on it. Yeah.
This is why El Rey isn't doing as well as it is. If they showed Johnny Dong, they would have been just holy shit, we're now the 38 weeks. What was the WCW thing?
80 something.
Okay, 83? Well, they now have 90 something weeks over WWE and TNA.
Yeah.
If they just showed his hog, they're a streaming network. They could have.
A streaming network? How about a streeting network, as in a Boyle Heights street fight coming up next between Mil Muertes with Katrina versus Prince Puma.
The Attitude Era wishes it had jeggings.
And Johnny Dong.
Oh, yeah, 100% that. But I say that because in these types of matches, they're always in jeans, and it just feels so cumbersome. Maybe
it's the old Dusty style.
Just being in jeans in general freaks me out. That could be autism. But okay. At least that's what Nicole says. She's like, you autistic bitch. She doesn't say that.
She does not say that, James.
She says, you're autistic, and then separately says you bitch. That's two different things.
You say thank you each time.
Yes. And wait, I thank her each time she says that.
Yes.
Okay. And just if you had jeggings on, then it's hey, you want to know it's not really jeans, but the people on this standard definition, they're not noticing that. They're like, whoa, the Heartbreak Kid, he can still lift his legs so high even in jeans, but they're jeggings.
I mean, it was, I don't know, maybe it's... I don't know why I enjoy alternate attire, street fight attire so much. I just always do. Shawn Michaels, when he in the return last man standing match against Triple H, Like it was, Shawn Michaels was coming out of retirement, and it was a big old street fight, and he just shows up in like cowboy boots and jeans, and you're like, oh, this guy's fucking nuts. Or like, I don't know, there's something there's something just kind of cool about like, yeah, this is my wrestling gear. I'm not wrestling you tonight. So I'm wearing like jeggings would be preferable because of course, moving your legs and stuff. I feel like Puma's. The reason we mentioned this is because Puma's got some street fight clothes on. And I feel like it's either black jeans or it's like, I think it's like black work pants. Like I have pants kind of like this where it's like, they're not really jeans. They're a little stretchier than that. Yeah. But they're not like slacks or anything. Like they're work pants.
I would love it if during the KFC days of WWE, they did what
are the KFC days of WWE?
Oh, you never saw that CM Punk, say what you will about the man, but he clearly did not want to do product placement within him commentating. So he just did the most over the top while also just being straight faced deadpanned about how delicious the new grilled chicken sandwiches at KFC are. So there were a few episodes when they were just doing product placement for KFC. They should have had two people in KFC outfits, uniforms, just beating each other up with chicken or something.
Hell yeah.
And if they were women in those outfits, ooh, baby. When you work at Burger King for 6 years, you start to have a fetish for people in fast food uniforms.
Oh, I want to dig into that, but you did. You specifically requested that we don't spend too much time on this episode, and we're already over an hour. So yeah, we'll get into this.
Speaking of uniforms, I mean, not a uniform, but, attire, someone was wearing a legalized gay shirt in the crowd, and 2 thumbs up to that.
Hey, you know what? 4 thumbs up to that. I missed that shirt. That's a cool-ass shirt.
Goro, where is he?
I know. You and me together form one Goro.
Whoa, hell yeah, dude. We should be Goro for next Halloween.
Yes.
I get to be the bottom hands.
Ooh, I get to be the legs.
Yeah, you get to be everything. I'm just the bottom hands.
No, we need a third person. You're the bottom hands. I'm the legs. And Nicole will be the top hands.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then Lance will be the head.
So we have 4 people.
Yes. Actually, you know what? Now the more I think about this, hold on.
Let's be a human centipede together.
Literally, what if we go as who is it from Akira that turns into the blob?
Tetsuo.
We go as Tetsuo, and we just keep adding people to the costume as the night goes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's it starts as a 2-person costume, then becomes a 3-person costume, and just people keep adding to it. And I don't have an end game for this, but that'd be a pretty cool way to spend a Halloween.
And then, another kid, a child shows up, and then they kind of merge together, and then one of the people with inside starts seeing the memories within the cells of Tetsuo, aka us, and then we see his birth, and he got spanked, and then he had a bad childhood, and maybe we were also telekinetic.
Or yes. Or maybe I was thinking we just have a projector set up inside the costume, so whenever someone gets added to the monster, we're just in there watching Akira.
Okay, and I was going based off from the manga because I just finished it. In 2 weeks I got all 6 volumes done.
Hell yeah! And in 2 weeks we're gonna get through this episode. We're almost done. This final match, Mil Muertes versus Prince Puma. It's a Boyle Heights street fight. These two have been going back and forth. We've been covering this for a while now. Mil Muertes killed Puma's mentor. Puma has enlisted the help. He's joined with Zompiro to sort of learn the dark arts, to really dig into something even more evil than he already is. And we're sort of seeing, we need them to have a buried alive match again. But we're sort of building to something here. This is the Boyle Heights, of course, the hometown of Prince Puma. So we're a little more in Puma's territory here.
Well, also, isn't the temple in Boyle Heights?
Temple is also in Boyle Heights. Yeah. So Mil makes his entrance. Puma makes his entrance behind Mil's back. Mil's watching the ramp, and Puma jumps him from behind, rushes him with a front drop kick, bell rings, and Puma finally takes the shirt off to fly.
Oh!
And again, yeah, work pants. This is Puma. Puma's here to work, baby.
If only he had on a Burger King shirt.
All right, James. You have an excellent point, but we are staying focused, I promise. Fights on the outside as Puma pulls a table from under the ring, leans it against the barricades, only to immediately go crashing through himself as Mills spears Puma through the table. Zompiro says nothing. The entire match, Zompiro says nothing. He's just gooning to the violence as Mill throws Puma into the floor seats. The first time I brought up gooning, that was just sort of off the cuff. That was in my notes.
Oh, hell. Okay, so I am not to blame. You had it in your notes.
No, James, you are to blame because I want you to know, before I met you, I would never dream of putting gooning into my notes.
No.
This is the person I am now.
I'm not into gooning, guys. Let it go, all right? It literally and figuratively.
Hey, I like that. Mill chops and DDTs Puma onto the floor before pulling out a stop sign. Puma fights back with a detour sign. There's so many street signs under the ring. Boyle Heights, the streets of Boyle Heights are in chaos, as all the street signs have been stolen and placed under the ring for this match.
Or we didn't see any yield signs, so they might have just replaced them all with yield.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
In the name of traffic and safety.
Which is still good. Like a yield sign is, you could just replace all signs with yield.
Well, yeah, I guess all signs really. Ooh, I feel like if we get deeper into this, we're gonna be blacklisted by big traffic stops. And I can't have them on my back.
The only signs you wouldn't want to change to yield, you'd probably want to change it to a stop sign, is M. Night Shyamalan stop or signs, because then the aliens aren't going to stop at our planet.
Yeah, which we needed them to. We need them to get wet and stop. It's just like me when I would go down to Cancun for spring break. I would get wet and I would stop and observe the thing that got me wet. And I'd be like, nice.
I thought you were going to say it's just like me when I goon. I get wet, then I stop.
Oh, I never stop, baby. Goon.
Well, once you start to feel wet, like, oh, I need to stop or I'm going to shoot. Just like, oh, well, maybe that's what he meant when he said, hey, in the Cueto Cup, put some Jägermeister in there that I'm going to shoot.
Yeah. Vampiro's just been edging himself for 25 years, and this is, as soon as the Cueto Cup gets won, that's the time, baby. Gross. Puma wants to create space. He leaps into the crowd, like sort of in the bleachers, but Mill follows him, only to smash that detour sign into Puma's mush. Which is, it's wild just to be sitting there enjoying a show and then Puma's next to you and he's getting hit in the face with a stop sign. Excuse me, a detour sign.
Everyone who was gooning immediately lost.
Yeah, which to be fair, you shouldn't be gooning in public. That's on you guys.
It's underground. Who cares?
That's a good point. No rules, baby.
The audience is allowed to goon.
If Drago can switch sides halfway through a match, I should be allowed to goon. This is Democracy Manifest. What's the crime? Eating a Chinese meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
I don't know what that's from.
I'll send a link. Mill throws Puma into the office. But Puma gets a foot on the wall to kick off and roundhouse Mill. This is a beautiful little brawl on the outside.
You said this is when he gets into Dario's office?
This is when he sort of kicks off.
Okay.
He does eventually get into Dario's office. Yeah, it's like how many times Puma counters an Irish whip by just sort of parkouring off the wall or up the wall a little bit.
Because if you were in the office, I was like, wait, we missed a big note, but please proceed.
Well, actually, I'm about to get there. I was sort of moving a little quick. Oh, yeah, hold on. I forgot the part. So like this is after the detour shot sign. They fight over the bleacher back wall. So like that back row of seats. Over that is a little bit of a staircase. It's not a little bit. It is a staircase. It's a full-on staircase. This leads to like right above the office area. They fight all the way up there until Mill finally puts Puma on his shoulders. And then he just carries them all. It's so wrestling. Where it's like, I'm going to put you on my shoulders and I'm going to carry you all the way down the ramp. And then I'm going to do a move.
Well, I think you're glazing over this. I believe Bob Odenkirk must have been there because my shoe.
Yep, I did. Oh, thank you so much.
Someone's shoe just is in there, and then one of them starts beating the other with the shoe.
It's not, someone's shoe is not just there. And thank you, because I did write this down. I'm worried about timing. Puma specifically bends, like this is as they're fighting up the stairs before Puma gets put onto Mill's shoulders. Puma bends down and rips the shoe off of a fan.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't someone just like, oh, there's a shoe here. No, Puma's like, give me your shoe, motherfucker. I'm fighting for my life out here. Have you seen how large this man and his cakes are? I'm fighting Muertes. Give me your damn shoe.
This is why everyone should wear slip-ons or Crocs to wrestling matches. So then it's real quick to like, oh, slipped off your shoe. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm. If you love Rome, if you really love Roman Reigns, all of you WWE fans, why aren't you wearing Crocs to the wrestling shows so that in case he needs a shoe, you got one for him?
Oh, guys, speaking of shoes and feet, if we recorded, we'd have some submissions right now for Sean's Wiki feet.
That's not, wait, is that true?
Yeah, see? I can see your feet right now.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. I don't have feet. I only have meters.
That's good.
Anyway, thank you so much. Yeah, that fucking shoe spot was awesome.
My shoe.
They finally brings him down that TKO. It's just getting mean and meaner. Puma eventually throws a trash can at Mill's head before throwing it into the ring. And I think this is around the time. Yeah. Puma gets caught doing some fancy tricks on the barricade, or not the barricade, on the banister, like a little handrail, and Mill's like, fucking stop being fancy, and he pushes him off, and he goes headfirst into the wall.
Some would say he tried to pull a Sonic the Hedgehog. That's what he used to do, grinding the rail down.
Yep.
But this is Dark Puma. He's Shadow now.
Yeah, he doesn't run so much as he skates around, and he still wears soap shoes. I'm pretty sure Shadow's wearing soap shoes.
Yeah, he has to. He does that type of maneuver, so he's got to.
He grinds, yeah. But it's a soap shoe that also supports guns. Yeah. And this is where now Mill throws Puma into the office.
And Dario's just polishing his little trophy.
He's just sitting there being like, I got a cool new cup. Like, there is something so sincere. Like when Dario comes out and says, I'm the best, or we're doing something and it's a big deal, it's not a grift. He really believes it. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love that for Dario. He's still an evil little shit, but at least he believes in what he's saying. I also love Dario's line as like Puma comes crashing through the door. He's just like, no, don't fight here. I have all of my properties here. He's just like, please don't. Please, guys. Mill throws Puma out of the office before staring down Dario. Which is a great recap. It's easy to forget that even though like Mill's a bad guy, Katrina's a bad guy, they hate Dario.
Yeah.
When Dario was first chased out of the temple, they're the ones that took over. Mill was champion and Katrina was booking the show like Dario, pretty much.
Yeah, now they're on the same team in AAA or MLW.
MLW, yeah. It's interesting though, but at this time they are not on the same team, and Mill remembers that. He leaves the office. Mill still has time to stare down Vampiro as well, the master, because Mill is aware Vampiro is the master of Puma now. He is not hiding his bias, but he's taking all this time to stare motherfuckers down. He's gonna get caught. And Mill returns to Puma, who, unseen by Mill, has grabbed a wrench from under the ring and smashes it into Mill's head.
Oh yeah,
it's wrench time, baby. Actually, no, it's not. Puma does get the wrench across Mill's head. It does not do a lot. All it does is back him up and give him space so that Mill can power slam Puma and shatter his spine. Mill is a force, and he terrifies me as much as he excites me, which is what I understand love to be. Mill brings Puma back into the ring, lays in the corner clotheslines. Big spin out choke slam from Mill, only scores a 2 count. Mill now queues up for that flatliner, but Puma escapes. Mill in the corner. This actually gets nuts. So first, Puma brings a trash can lid down on Mill's head once, then twice, then hands the trash can lid to Mill to hold before, boom, spinning wheel kick. We're getting we're getting the Van Damme spots, which is awesome because Rob Van Dam does really cool shit. And I like seeing Puma do it.
I'd love it if this same kind of spot happens where, oh, you throw something to someone, in this case, the trash can lid, and then you kick that thing into their face because they're like, oh yeah, of course I'm gonna, like, it's just reflex. You catch it. If on the outside of the ring there was like a baby stroller and they know what's in there, it's a fake baby. They take out the fake baby and throw it at the like other wrestler, and the other wrestler catches it and they're like, oh, a baby, and then they just kadoosh kick the fake baby into their face.
That has to have been done somewhere. If you have footage of something like that, please send it to us because that sounds too perfect to have not happened. Van Daminator with a baby. Make it happen. But yeah.
I'm just not going to edit this episode, you know?
That's fair. So yeah, Van Daminator into Mill's face. Mill's in the corner. Puma gives him a trash can to hold before climbing a different corner. Puma wants to go coast to coast. He does. He connects with a Van Terminator, which is that coast to coast drop kicking the trash can into their face. But Puma adds a little flip to it because he's fucking Prince Puma. He can do what he wants. He's very good. Mill now surrounded by literal trash from that garbage can, on the ground, laid out. Puma climbs to the top rope. 630 splash, connects, but he does not cover immediately. Instead, Puma talks shit and does not see Katrina enter behind him, rock in hand, decks Puma in the face, knock him out a little bit. Katrina then goes to rouse Mill, wake him up a bit, and Zompiro comes in to hand Puma a brick.
At first, I did not like this.
Okay.
Because I'm like, dude, Puma, don't do this. Also, like, come on, like, we're just gonna be like hitting people with rocks now, okay? Because at first I was like, well, Puma's probably gonna be like, take it, but then he's about to hit, he's contemplating, should I hit Mill over the face? And I thought he was gonna drop it and then probably lose. But no, man, he sees the brick, he sees Mill, and he's like, fuck this, and just smashes him over the face. Also, like, that's, what's her nuts just did that to him. Katrina, as, you know, our friend Sean would say. And
I wouldn't say that. I don't think I've ever actually said Katrina. It's just, fuck you. Keep making your points. You're making a very good one.
And he pins him. 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, no, this is the evolution that Puma needs, especially like this is the character arc we're getting for him because he's almost done in the company.
Oh, probably. I mean, the company is almost done, technically.
No. So at the time when this was airing, Puma was waiting to go on to WWE, but contractually, he could not make his debut until his final episode aired for Lucha Underground. So he's just waiting until not Aztec Warfare, Ultima Lucha 3 is aired because I'm assuming he's in one of the top matches. My guess would be like him and Mill are finally gonna like duke it out.
Maybe they are also both in the tournament. And like either one of them could easily win that tournament, that Cueto Cup. Damn, I forgot. Yeah, he's leaving at the end of this season. We definitely talked about it. It's kind of weird. Prince Puma was such a face attached to Lucha Underground.
And now he's gonna go on to be great. Babe.
Yo, have you seen any of his AEW stuff lately? He's a serial killer, and it's kind of cool. It's one of those things where it's like he was getting an interesting reaction. It was a little mix. He was kind of getting treated like, oh, this fucking nerd. Like I feel like there was this air of like, this guy's such a nerd. He's fucking nerd, and I hate nerds. And so Puma's like, okay, yeah. What if I'm kind of like a nerd? Because I'm a murderer.
Hell yeah.
Because I carry around a pair of scissors. Like I think that's that's sort of like how he started. It was like he stabbed someone in the forehead with a pair of scissors, which is fucking brutal.
And they were safety scissors, so it's even more brutal.
Yeah, because he did stab him. He just had to do a little extra work for him. No, I'm really excited. Really excited to see sort of serial killer Ricochet, which we all have like this is the start right here. Prince Puma was such like a babyface good guy, like really blue chipper, like, oh, shucks, I can do it, pa. And now he's becoming a serial killer thanks to the help of Zompiro. So if you enjoy watching Ricochet serial killer, you have Zompiro to thank.
Hell yeah.
Puma does win this match in 11 minutes, 40 seconds. It reminds me of something, actually, something Craig taught me. Like when I first got to Chicago, James's coworker Craig was one of my teachers in the magical world of improv comedy. And I always kind of like, I think this is a Craigism, I believe. Of like, if you never heard the expression yes and, it's such an important tool in improvisers. A lot of times when you're presented information, the best thing in a scene, the best thing you can do with is yes, agree to the reality of the situation and build on it. Yes, and agree and add something instead of like no budding or anything like that. You can yes and it's awesome. Sometimes you don't always have an and that's like immediately readily available. You don't always have something to add immediately, right? Sometimes, and a really powerful thing you can do is sometimes just go fuck yeah. Like if you don't have the yes and, you can just go fuck yeah. So at the very least, whatever that idea was presented is now supported.
Yeah.
Or in the case of Prince Puma, sometimes you just gotta go fuck yeah and hit them with the brick. There is so many, and there are so many moments in wrestling and in not just wrestling, media in general, film and television and books and comics where it's like, oh no, I have to have this like long, should I or shouldn't I? I don't know. And then they eventually don't, and then they lose the match because they don't use the weapon. But no, Puma has agreed to be with Vampiro. He has defended Vampiro against Rey Mysterio. Like, it is like Puma is saying fuck yeah to Zompiro and the darkness that he brings.
Yeah, he says Vampiro can get him some mannequin bitches. Am I right, brothers?
And if you want to catch that reference, make sure you watch the Patreon and all sorts of other goodies that you could dig into that we'll explain in this plug section, which is right now. Make sure you follow Twitch. Wait, hold on. I should finish. Yes. Fuck yeah, Puma Vampiro. Okay, plugs. Twitch.tv, Goose Von Kaiser. I love you guys. Y'all take care now. And make sure you hit all of these beautiful plugs that James is going to tell you in 3, 2, 1, now.
Hey guys, listen to my podcast. Like Mostly Speaking Sentai, This Movie's Gay. Death to Squids will be coming back next month with Highlander. Well, we get in high, and we'll be saying something that rhymes with Lander, you know? So please check that out. Hey, James, isn't this technically your job to make up rhymes? Well, not right now. I haven't showered today. So
yeah.
MLMpod.com for all information on that. Send us a donation. We have a donation link over there. It helps us keep growing this podcast network, baby. What's something we need? I'd love to get solar panels so then like we can use that to cool the studio space in the winter, not the winter, the summertime. I don't know, donate or get content while supporting us by heading over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday, we are finally releasing the pilot episode of 98's The Limit. That was a show that Nick Foster and I wanted to do where we reviewed and ranked all 23 albums that No Limit Records put out in a single year, 1998. However, that has never been released, and we recorded it February 2020. And then something happened to prevent us from recording another episode.
Oh, what happened in February of 2020? What was going on in February of 2020, I wonder?
Oh, we went to C2E2, and I don't know, I guess we just forgot.
Con life, it'll do it.
And if people enjoy it enough, we'll make it a full show. We'll put it out. We'll start recording remotely. So yeah, we're doing stuff. That's that. And then $10 patrons get all of that, including monthly bonus exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon, which I believe this month is going to, I know PJ from The Rewind is coming over. We're either doing a horror movie, or I might be like, hey, if there's no horror movies you want to, that are sprinkling your fancy, maybe we just watch Cheetah Girls, because he fucking loves Cheetah Girls.
Si se puede.
That's not is that Cheetah Girls?
I thought it was. Wait, is Cheetah Girls the one with Raven from the Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
I thought that was from a different Disney channel, but I've never seen Cheetah Girls, so I don't know, but I know I've heard that phrase before, so.
No, James, I'm not confident.
All right, but you also
this.
get shout outs in every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, twitch.tv/Core Winning, it's Corwin, and from the Rom Complex as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's R2 Shelby 2, plus those two people, Corwin and I, Shelby and Sam, all on an episode of the Rom Complex last week discussing 2004's Eating Out, which we have reviewed all 5 movies of that over on This Movie's Gay. We had a blast discussing it. And finally, from the Speed Radio podcast, a podcast on all things Sonic the Hedgehog, they'll let you know if Shadow has those little shoes on. It's Zinny D, a.k.a. Tay, and I've been James.
And I've been Sean, and this has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. Purple Prancer forever, be like Bob.
Yeah, sorry about not editing this episode, guys.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.